Hey guys, this is WWE Consoles and this is the weekly review for Raw and SmackDown. So the weekly results for Raw 15th of April 2013 and SmackDown, that would be 19th of April 2013, I guess. But so basically it wasn't a it wasn't an awesome Raw like last week's, but it was I would say below average, to be honest. It wasn't very that impressing. It was pretty disappointing. Thing is, basically, so the first thing that happened, the first match what happened, Sheamus and Randy Orton successfully defeated the Big Show. So that was an okay start. It's an okay start when Big Show did the bro kick. Sheamus did the bro kick to Big Show and Randy Orton did the RKO to Big Show, and that was the whole thing. And for the free count, and yeah. But the good thing about it is that guys like Brock Lesnar always interrupt and they just steal the show, and they completely, like Brock Lesnar just completely destroyed 3MB when 3MB were about to waste time calling out the Shield when they know they were going to get beaten up, but they didn't know that they were going to get beaten up by Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar came out with Paul Heyman and they challenged Triple H to a steel cage match at Extreme Rules. So that was a very interesting thing. I thought it was probably going to be at SummerSlam. Probably the third and final match at SummerSlam. Where it began and where it will finish. So SummerSlam probably, but it's happening in an Extreme Rules match, and Triple H will be scheduled to respond to Brock Lesnar next week on Raw, as I have been reported to. So yeah, Triple H will be answering back to Brock Lesnar. Probably going to be a yes. But yeah, so Kofi Kingston defeated Antonio Cesaro to become the new WWE United States Champion. That was an okay thing with a kick to Antonio's face, and he ended his 279-day reign as United States Champion. I'm not sure if it is 279. It's probably 270, but don't know about the accurate day. It's going to be a World Heavyweight Championship between Dolph Ziggler and Alberto, but it was interrupted by Jack Swagger as he basically as he tried to injure Alberto Del Rio's leg, and he kind of did, to be honest, he did. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Pretty much, yeah. Also, Team Hell No defeated Primetime Players. That was part where it was pretty, what was it? It was pretty, time wasting. But the time wasting was not when Ryback explained his actions against John Cena last week. It was pre-recorded, and it had like an odd amount of facial kind of thing. And pretty much he said that Ryback was very annoyed, and he says that the reason why he attacked him was that he had the worst night at WrestleMania and John Cena had his best night at WrestleMania, and pretty much it was the worst day of Ryback's life that time, and pretty much he wanted to be back on the top, rightfully where he belongs, to become the new WWE champion, as he was about to defeat CM Punk last year, but it was interrupted by the Shield, and pretty much the Shield was John Cena's old rival as well, and also Ryback's, and Ryback always used to save John Cena. That's what he said. He used to save John Cena 3 times, and Ryback was pretty much attacked by the Shield 9 times, I think. I'm not really sure. And John Cena did not come to save Ryback in any of those 9 times or 6 times that he was attacked. So that's why he was there, and it pretty much is funny the way it says that the champ is here in his new t-shirt. So that was a good thing that he said. So that's the reason why, and I think that was about it. But they're using Ryback very wrong. A very strong man is turning out to be a coward, to be honest. So Jack Swagger versus Dolph Ziggler, that turned out to be Jack Swagger winning, and basically as Swagger was heading up to the ramp above the Rio, and I think and Ricardo came out to stop him. But what happened, the reason why Jack Swagger won was that basically what happened is that Ziggler charges, but Swagger lifts him up in the air and drops him over the top ring in cover, and basically the match was over. So that was it. And Alberto attacked him after the match. And CM Punk come out. This is the part where it really goes interesting. Basically, CM Punk makes his way, doesn't really want to say that much, but he just talks about his brutal match with the Undertaker and his 434 day reign as WWE champion. Then it all goes wrong against John Cena and The Rock, and then he just stays really silent mostly, and then he gives the mic to Paul Heyman, hugs his old friend, and he just leaves. So I think he will be taking a break from the WWE. I think he probably might not be returning late. I think he'll be returning later on this year, but it looks like it could be some kind of face turn. So I think that will be the issue. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, we'll just see what actually happens in the future. But I think it could turn out when he returns. I hope he turns face and becomes like champion again, probably. And yeah, so the CM Punk part was very interesting. And basically, we've heard Dolph Ziggler will defend his title in a triple threat match against Alberto and Jack Swagger at Extreme Rules. So yeah, that was it. And then John Cena comes out and he just says the champ is here, and he says that Ryback is in the back, and he just asks Ryback to come out, and then Ryback comes out, makes his way onto the ramp, and then Cena says that Ryback is at 290 pounds and he has destroyed everything in his path. And pretty much when Ryback comes out, the crowd knows, the crowd knows that someone is about to get hurt. And then Cena says that he should be shaking in his boots, but he's not. And then he says that he's not really, basically Cena says that Ryback is not the biggest threat that he has ever faced. And the camera quickly cuts to a shot of what appears to be basically the Shield in the backstage, and I think that was a bit of a mistake, but yeah. Cena says that the championship means everything to him, and he understands why Ryback did what he did last week, but he doesn't really like it. And then Cena continues to, insult Ryback, and Cena then takes his shirt off and looks at Ryback square in the nose, and Ryback turns and heads out of the ring, and pretty much that shows that WWE, the company, was using him as a coward, and that's not very good, because Ryback, he's like, feed me more, but he's not really feeding, he's not really feeding, because he's just being a coward and he's just turning away. Then the Shield comes out, then they appear to be in the crowd, and then they attack Cena, and then Ryback just sees, and he just pretty much doesn't do anything, just stays out of the ring, and he just walks away from his former friend. And that was Raw. It was a bit boring. I didn't really like it, pretty much. But we'll find out what happens really with CM Punk and Triple H, and what happens with Cena and Ryback. But it doesn't look very good to me. But on SmackDown, on the other hand, just look at that. So the main event will be Big Show and Mark Henry versus Randy Orton and Sheamus. So I think the feud is still coming. It's still going on, but yeah. So I think SmackDown, I think it would have been a bit more better. I think the main event was definitely better with Mark Henry, Big Show, and everything like that. So yeah. But to be honest, I think the rest of the show was a bit boring. But I'll just get to that in a minute. So I think it wasn't very that good. But the first thing came up was basically Fandango defeating Santino Marella, so that was the thing. Kofi Kingston defeated Wade Barrett in a non-title match, so I think it was a champion versus champion. And Sheamus, pretty much, I think Sheamus attacked Mark Henry after that match, basically. Mark Henry was being interviewed backstage, and then basically Sheamus attacked him, and then the two would meet in the show's main event. And pretty much that was it. And Alberto defeated Jack Swagger, and it was pretty much a good back and forth match. It was a very good actually. Basically, the Shield, apparently next week on Raw will be the Undertaker and Team Hell in a Cell versus the Shield. So it sounds very good to me. The Undertaker is coming back again, and he's actually competing on Raw. So that's very good of him. He's actually coming back and competing more than one match, so that's really good. And then Shield came out and they actually cut a promo on his undefeated streak at WrestleMania, but they have never been defeated ever. So that's a factor there. But 21 wins and about, I don't know, 10 wins from the Shield. I think the Undertaker still wins because it's at the Grand Station Mall and is facing one of the biggest superstars at that time. So yeah, Undertaker still wins. But nice try by the Shield, and we'll see what happens at Raw. It probably might be changed to Extreme Rules, but that's what I was hoping. But I guess it's not. So yeah, Big Show and Mark Henry defeated Sheamus and Randy Orton. I think basically in the end, Big Show was able to win to a pin, but then Randy Orton, after giving him a chokeslam, basically Big Show gave Randy Orton a chokeslam, and pretty much that was it. So I think while the way things are going, we appear that it's going to be Henry versus Sheamus and Big Show versus Randy Orton at Extreme Rules. So it might be two one-on-one matches. So I think that was it. It's not a very good week, but we'll see what happens. Next week's going to be very good when we see The Undertaker again in action. So that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to do the preview of next week's Raw. So like, rate, comment what you thought about this week's the WWE, and I'll see you guys very soon. Subscribe. Peace.